everyone, this video is going to be based around our vault. Now we're going to break our vault down today into some different sections, and hopefully it'll be useful for our recreational gymnasts, our lower level gymnasts and our higher level gymnasts. Now hopefully you don't have a vault table at home, so we're going to break it down and do some different drills that will help different parts of a vault, and will probably be helpful for some of your tumbling as well. So we're going to break it down into the run section, the handstand component of the vault, and also the shoulder pump section of the vault. So we've got some equipment here today we're going to use. Now you don't need to have this exact equipment at home, but something similar could be useful. Hopefully you've got something similar in your home, and if you don't, you can just do it without. That's not a problem. So we're going to start with the first phase of a vault, and usually vaults start with a run. Now every coach has a different way of teaching and run, and I want you to think back to how your coach likes you to do your running, and I'm going to go through how I teach my running, and we can do some drills together. So we're going to start by just holding the shape that we do in our running. So we want to keep our arms bent at a 90-degree angle, and we want to lift our knee up, and I like to have a flat foot that's below my knee, and that's my running shape. So if I do some slow run shapes, like a walk, making sure that your arm stays at a 90-degree angle as it flicks to the back, and that's my running shape. Now I'm going to use that in a few different ways here. So we can do some running hops. Now you can do those just on the floor, like this. Making sure we swap both legs and do it both ways. Or you can also use a height to help you out to make it a little bit trickier. So it doesn't matter what your height is, you might just do it on the edge of a stairwell, or you could do it on a small block that you have at home. Just make sure it's strong enough to take your weight and you're in a safe spot to do so. So we're going to step onto our height and we're going to hop off the side. You can also do that facing your block and hop up and step back. Making sure you're focusing on your run shape, and whatever you do on one leg, you do on the other the same amount. You might do 10 of those either way. If you've got some space, you can also, of course, practice some runs. So we might do some slow walk into runs. And you can do that backwards. You can do some run, step into lunge. Or you can do running sideways. There are various different ways that your coach may have taught you. Practice some length where you have space, so you can do some practicing of your running. Another drill we can do, if you have any type of elastic or TheraBand at home, is you can practice your running with a partner, or by putting this onto something and practicing your running inside the TheraBand, which I'll show you now. With your TheraBand or your elastic, you can either do this with a partner or find something really sturdy that's not going to move that you can tie it to. So make sure if you choose an item that it's really solid and that when you pull on it, it's going to take your body weight, because we're going to try and put a lot of force into it. Otherwise, you can give the other end to a partner and your partner can try and hold you and stop you from running. So if you're using an item, the way to do it is you can wrap this around and then feed one end through the gap of the other, making sure it's nice and tight. Now make sure if you have elastic or a TheraBand that you're using that it's nice and strong, there's no little rips in it, so it's not likely to break when you put some force into it. You want this to be really strong and take our entire weight. So we're going to carefully get into our TheraBand, putting it over onto our hips. From here, you want to yet again make sure that whatever you've tied this to is going to take your weight, and you're not going to make it fall on you or make it break. So from here, we're just using this elastic, and if a partner's holding the other end, they want to either sit really tight and hold you still, or they can follow after you. And you're going to practice your running really, really fast, but you're not going to be able to go anywhere because the elastic's holding you back. So we're going to try and remember our proper running shape, and we're going to try and run as fast as we can while not going anywhere. Make sure when you're done with the activity that you don't let the TheraBand pull you back into whatever you have. So this probably isn't quite a perfectly safe setup, because if I let the TheraBand pull me back, I've got a P-bar that might hit me. So make sure that there's nothing around you, that you've got a nice lot of space so that you can do this activity safely. The next phase for our vault is our handstand shape. So we can practice this in many ways, and you might be able to find a handstand program in one of our other videos. But for our vault handstands, we're going to try some of these exercises. So you can always practice your handstand hold, where you just lunge into a nice long handstand. Often you might be asked to do an underarm circle into your handstand for vault. So an underarm circle under our handstand hold. Now if you have a partner that's around, whether it's a brother or a sister, or mum or dad, or someone who's around at your house who is big enough to be able to hold you, you might ask them if they could hold you up while you hold a handstand. Now when your partner holds you, they want to grab you from one side of your legs to the other side of your legs, and they shouldn't be forcing your weight into your handstand. You should be able to kick up into the handstand, and they just put their hands there to just balance you. You can ask your partner to move their hands away from your legs a little bit and just balance you between their hands while you hold your handstand. Make sure you don't hold this for too long. We don't want the blood to rush all the way to our head. Maybe just a maximum of 30 seconds at a time, making sure you're pushing really tall through your handstand shape. Another thing that we can do for our handstand shapes for vault, and this leads into our shoulder popping exercises, is a handstand pop. Now a basic version of this, and you can do this if you have something squishy at home that's not going to break when you push on it. So whether that's a cushion, or if you have a trampoline, that's perfect. You can do some pops on that item. So we can start with a simple shape. We can start with an angry cat shape. So you're going to put your hands on your item, whether it's a cushion or the trampoline, and you're just going to push off the floor. Now when I do this, I don't want to bend my arms. We're not using our arms to pop. We're using our shoulders, dropping them in and out again. So if our hands are on the trampoline or on a cushion, we're going to drop our shoulders and push away. Now extended version of this is our front support pops. So jump up into your nice rounded front support shape, pop. And the final version of this is up in a handstand shape. So we're going to do our handstand, and we're going to pop when we get to the top. Now if you have a small height you can pop up to, and you're confident enough to do so, try that one. Now some more things that we can use to practice our popping. We have some little weights here. So I have a medicine ball. You might have something at home, you might have some weights, or simply just something that's heavy in your house. Try kitchen cupboards. You might have bags of vegetables or anything that's fairly heavy. You need to be able to hold it in both hands. So I'm going to sit on my bottom. I'm going to practice my shoulder shrugs for this popping action. So we're going to hold our heavy item above our head. Now we're going to try not to arch as we do this one because we want to maintain a tight torso. You're going to hold your weight above your head. You're going to shrug down through your shoulders and up through your shoulders. And down through your shoulders and up through your shoulders. Making sure that your arms down your ears and you're not arching as you shrug. Try and grab something heavy around your house. Don't make it too heavy. You want to be able to do about 10 of those shrugs. And maybe do that for 3 rounds, just to strengthen our shoulder shrug and our shoulder push. Another activity we can do for our shoulder push, you can use a ball for, or something that when you throw it against a wall, it's not going to break. So I'm going to use my exercise ball. You may have a small ball. Just make sure that it's wide enough that you can hold it up above your head and hold it in both hands. And then we want to find a wall that doesn't have anything breakable on it. So preferably outside, not inside, because your ball might go here, there, or everywhere. And all you're going to do is hold the ball up. You're going to push through your shoulders and throw your ball into the wall. Now when there's a wall there in front of us, it's going to bounce back at me. You're going to make sure I catch it before it hits me. All right, but just pushing through your shoulders, throwing your ball, seeing how hard you can throw it against your wall, and then catching it and do it again. You can do this from a standing position or a sitting position as well. So those are just some ideas of some different drills that you can use to work on your vaults from your home.